but they're still pouring onto the field. Again, Doug, as we say, Ole Miss was number 7, but not a big surprise. LSU now has won 16 of the last 21 meetings between LSU and the Rebels. So, but whatever, let the kids celebrate. LSU's going to celebrate because this was a solid win, and I know we've talked about the shortcomings.
All right, fam. There you go, man. LSU takes care of business against Ole Miss 45-20. They defeat the Ole Miss Rebels, takes them down, beat the number 7th ranked Ole Miss Rebels. And it looked kind of rocky early on as Ole Miss was able to put up some points. But LSU stayed cool and calm, man. They were able to row all the way back. Beat this team 45-20. Big fashion, man. Great win. A lot of people can't talk that shit now about Jayden Daniels, man. Where those detractors at is he is carrying this team, man, in more ways than one. With his arm and his legs. 5 touchdowns he accounted for in this matchup. Tigers improved, man. 6-2, they're 4-1 in conference play, beating the Ole Miss Rebels. Feels good, man. 21 unanswered in the fourth quarter as LSU shuts out Ole Miss in the second half, man, not allowing them to get anything. So, good game. Let's get into the team statistics on this thing. 35-26 via LSU. They handled the business. 6-11 on the third down. 500-404. A lot of yardage in this game. 248 by the Tigers, 288 by Ole Miss passing game. LSU ran for 252 yards on 48 carries, over 5 yards per rush. Ole Miss won 16 on 37, 3.1. Ole Miss sloppy game. LSU a lot of penalties in this game, 18 penalties overall. 10-4 Ole Miss for 111. LSU 8 for 71. And of course, the turnover there, as you can see, was the interception thrown by their quarterback, Dart. LSU controlled the time of possession as well in this one. 35 minutes and 48 seconds versus 22 minutes in 1 second. So they mastered the clock. LSU took the ball away from Ole Miss and held it for almost 36 minutes of this game. Totally shrunk the game away from them, made them a bit desperate in the game. So really wonderful game by LSU. As you can see, a lot of these young people really coming together in the matchup. Jayden 21 of 28 on the game for 248, 9 yards per throw. He had 2 passing touchdowns. And oh yeah, he's the top rusher. In the rushing attack, he had 23 scrambles for 121 yards. He averaged over 5 yards per scramble and was responsible for 3 rushing touchdowns. But the LSU rushing attack did well. Didn't matter who had the ball. Josh Williams had 17 rushes, for 76 yards. He averaged 4.5 yards per rush with a touchdown. Armani Goodwin had 8 carries for 55 yards, and he averaged almost 7 yards per rush. So regardless of what LSU was doing with the rushing attack, it worked against Ole Miss defense. Top receivers in the matchup. Touchdowns going to Jare Jenkins, 2 catches for 51 yards and a score. Mason Taylor, the big tight end, caught 3 catches for 44 yards and a score there. Kayshawn had 4 catches for 43, averaging 11 yards per catch. Malik Neighbors, 4 catches for 37. He was 9.3. 2 for Brian Thomas in the game for 26, 13 yards per catch on that thing. Josh Williams had 3 for 25, and Karen Lacey had 2 for 18. Goodwin had 1. So pretty good game by LSU Tigers. Defense came alive in the second half, was able to take this team completely out of it. Jackson Dart finished the game 19-34 for 284. No touchdowns and an interception for him. And their top guy was Quishon Judkins, 25 carries for 111, 4.4. That guy's a hell of a player. 2 rushing touchdowns for him. He's the lone bright spot for Ole Miss in this game. Also, you got to give it up to Malik Heath, who had 8 catches for 145. No scores from none of those guys in there. So LSU did what they were supposed to do, man. They made the adjustments, and they shut Ole Miss down in the second half. So great win. I mean, excellent win by LSU against the 7th-ranked Ole Miss Rebels, giving them their first loss of the season, and LSU improves to 6-2. What do you guys think, man? Talk to me in the chat. about this. This was a good game. They handled the business. They took care of things, made it work, and they executed and they handled the business. 6-2 all your LSU Tigers. 45-20 was the win. So big ups to you guys. Shout out to you guys for watching the watch party here as LSU gets the win. Shout out to Rose City. Good to see you, fam. Appreciate you. True Louisiana Animal. Much love to you. Big shout out to you as well. And all the family members are feeling pretty good about themselves, I see in the chat, man. Big ups to you guys. Appreciate you for chiming in this thing. So, all right. So, what's next for LSU, man? Let's delve into the schedule going up next for the Tigers, man. What's shaking and baking for the Tigers on the flip side? Well, guess what? We got Alabama coming up after a bye week. 4 games remaining in the season. Alabama, Arkansas, UAB, and Texas. But before we get to Alabama, you know we always have that traditional bye before Alabama. So LSU's off this week on a well-earned bye. They winners of 2 in a row against Florida and Ole Miss as they gear up for the 6th rank currently right now, LSU Tigers. So we're going to see how all that shakes in the forefront. So much love to the fam, man. We'll be back later on this week as we'll talk about cover LSU in the bye week, man. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you for chiming in. And I'm going to get at you on the flip side. Much love and go Tigers.